Why your YouTube views are not converting into clients. I'm talking about the hidden reason your channel gets traffic, but no business results. Okay, you're getting views, right? Not millions, but decent views. Hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands on some videos, right? Your analytics look healthy, your watch time is up, your impressions are growing, subscribers are trickling in. By every metric that YouTube shows you, things are working, right? Here's the problem, you're not getting clients. Your inbox is empty, your calendar has no discovery calls, your revenue from YouTube-sourced clients is zero or very close to it. This is frustrating, okay? You can see the traffic. You can see the engagement, you're doing everything the gurus told you. You're posting consistently, you're optimizing for search results, you're creating valuable content. So why isn't it working? Okay, the problem is who is watching? And maybe it's even worse, because it's very possible you've been training YouTube to send you the wrong people. Okay, what are we going to talk about in this video? We're going to talk about why views and clients are completely different metrics, the dangerous concept of ideal client adjacent, right? How the YouTube algorithm learns from your content. You're training the YouTube algorithm, right? Why your offer is the foundation of your entire channel strategy, right? And the strategic shift that's going to turn YouTube viewers into clients, right? Okay, here's the fundamental truth most creators don't understand, right? Views and clients are not the same metric. They're not even really on the same track. For a business owner, right? We're not influencers here. We're business owners. We want people to buy a product or service. Okay, views measure attention. How many people clicked on your video? How many eyeballs saw your content, right? Clients measure conversion, and that's what we're after. We're not influencers. How many people went from watching your content to paying you money?
If you're a coach or consultant who's too busy serving clients to create consistent content, and you want to see how we build your YouTube authority machine completely done for you, I made a video breaking down the entire system. Check out the link in the description below this video.
These are completely different things, and optimizing for one often comes at the expense of the other, okay? Think about it. What kind of content gets the most views? Broad content, beginner content, content that appeals to the widest possible audience, right? And what kind gets clients? Specific content, advanced content, content that speaks directly to people who have the problem you solve and the budget to pay you for it, right? Content that maximizes views attracts everyone. It attracts maximally, right? Including the 99% of people who will never become clients. The content that we want to create maximizes clients, right? It repels most people, but attracts the 1% who need what it is that you do or sell and are ready to buy, right? When you optimize for views, you're optimizing for the wrong thing. You're filling your channel with people who will never convert. Vanity metrics, right? Are numbers that look impressive but do not correlate with business results. Views are a vanity metric. You can get 100,000 views and 0 clients. Subscribers are a vanity metric, right? You can have 50,000 subscribers and an empty calendar. Watch time is a vanity metric, right? YouTube loves it, but it doesn't pay your bills, right? So these numbers feel good, right? When views go up, you feel successful. When subscribers increase, you feel validated. The dopamine hits keep coming, right? Just dopamine. But it's like a hamster wheel, right? You're working, you're seeing numbers go up, but you're not actually getting anywhere. Your actual goal is getting clients, and that is being ignored, right? You're so focused on the vanity metrics, right? That's what YouTube is giving you thumbs up for, that you've lost sight of what matters, okay? The creators who actually build businesses from YouTube are the ones who ignore vanity metrics and focus obsessively on one question. Is my content attracting people who will pay me? If the answer is no, the views do not matter. And it's also training your channel wrong, okay? What is ideal client adjacent? Your ideal client is the person who has the exact problem that you solve, the budget to pay you, and the urgency to act now, right? This is who you want watching your videos. Ideal client adjacent is everyone who looks similar but isn't quite right, right? They might have a related problem. They might be in a similar industry. They might be interested in the same topics, but they're not buyers, right? Maybe they have no budget. Ideal client adjacent viewers are very easy to attract, right? They're interested in your content. They watch your videos, they engage, they subscribe, but they never buy. Maybe they don't have the budget. Maybe they're not the right stage. Maybe they're just curious, not serious. Whatever the reason, they're not converting. And because they look so similar to your ideal clients, because they engage with the same content, it's hard to tell the difference. Your analytics look healthy, your engagement is good, but your revenue is flat. You're attracting the ring around the bullseye instead of the bullseye itself, okay? For example, An ideal client would be somebody who is a 7-figure business owner looking to scale, marketing director with budget authority, right? Established coach wanting systems, agency owner ready to hire. Ideal client adjacent would be aspiring entrepreneur dreaming of starting, right? Marketing intern learning the ropes. New coach figuring out their offer. Freelancer doing everything themselves, right? Say you're a business coach who helps 7-figure companies scale to 8 figures, right? Your ideal client is already at 7 figures, looking to scale with budget to invest in coaching, right? So adjacent might be an aspiring entrepreneur who dreams of building a 7-figure business someday, right? They're interested in the same topics, they watch the same content, but they're years away from being able to afford you if they even get there. Or say you're a marketing consultant who works with enterprise companies, right? Your ideal client is a marketing director with budget authority looking for strategic help, right? So ideal client adjacent might be a marketing intern, right? Who's learning the ropes. They're fascinated by marketing strategy. They consume a ton of content, but they have zero budget or they have zero authority to hire you, right? Same topics, same content interests, completely different ability to buy. When you create broad content that appeals to anyone interested in marketing or anyone who wants to grow business, right? You attract the adjacent audience. They're easier to reach. There are more of them, but they do not convert, right? Why is this so dangerous? Because it feels like success, right? When you attract ideal client adjacent viewers, your metrics go up, right? Your views increase, your subscribers grow, comments come in, engagement looks healthy. Everything YouTube shows you says you're doing great, right? But you're not doing great. You're building an audience of people who will never pay you. The metrics are lying to you. They're showing you activity without showing you results, right? They're showing you attention without showing you conversion. And because it feels like success, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep creating the same content, attracting the same kind of viewers, wondering why clients are not coming. It gives you just enough validation to keep you going in the wrong direction. The only way to escape is to stop trusting the metrics and start asking, are the people watching my videos actually capable of becoming clients, right? Do they have the problem and the budget and the urgency, right? If not, the views are worthless. So let's talk about what is training, right? The YouTube algorithm is a learning machine and you're training it with every video that you post on your channel, right? The algorithm watches who engages with your content, who clicks, who watches, who subscribes, who comments, and then it finds more people like those guys. This is how YouTube works. It identifies patterns in your audience and then shows your content to similar people. If your current audience is full of people who engage but don't buy, ideal client adjacent, right? The algorithm learns from them and it says, okay, this channel appeals to aspiring entrepreneurs, marketing interns, and curious beginners. Let me find more of those, right? And it does. And it sends you more of the wrong people. Every video you post that attracts the wrong audience trains the algorithm to send you more wrong audience. The algorithm has learned who your channel is for, and it's not for your ideal clients, okay? Training compounds, right? Video 1 attracts adjacent viewers, right? The algorithm learns. Video 2 recommended to similar people. The algorithm learns, right? They're engaging. By video 20, you're fully misaligned, okay? You guys get it. Video 1, adjacent viewers. Video 2, recommended to people similar to video 1's audience, right? More adjacent viewers. Video 3, recommended to people similar to video 1 and 2's audience, right? It's not going to suddenly start recommending 7-figure business owners to you if you have trained it to search for beginners and dreamers and curious browsers, right? It's like a snowball. It's been rolling in the wrong direction for too long, and it's just going to continue to grow larger and pick up speed in the wrong direction. And this is why many creators feel stuck, right? They've been posting, they have an audience, but that audience doesn't buy. And no matter what they do, they can't seem to attract different people. And it's because the algorithm has been trained. This now requires deliberate strategic shift in content. It requires retraining, right? You have to stop creating content that attracts the adjacent audience. Even if that content gets views, even if it feels like it's working, right? And you have to start creating content that specifically attracts your ideal clients, even if it gets fewer views, even if it feels like you're shrinking your audience. And here's what happens when you make this shift. Initially, views might drop, right? The adjacent audience that was watching your broad content won't be interested in your specific content and they'll leave. The algorithm notices different people are engaging, people who match a different profile, and it will start finding more of those people. This is a trade-off. Fewer views from the right people beats more views from the wrong people, right? Over time, your audience composition shifts. Fewer adjacent viewers, more ideal clients. Your views might be lower, but your conversion rate goes up, right? We don't really care how many views you're getting or how many followers you have if they're not going to buy, right? If they're not going to buy, we want them to go away. So how can you know who your ideal client is, right? Your offer. Your offer determines everything. It determines who your ideal client is, right? Which determines what content you should create, which determines who your channel attracts. If your offer is clear and specific, your content can be clear and specific. You know exactly who you're talking to. You know exactly what problems to address. You know exactly how to repel the wrong people. If your offer is vague or broad, your content becomes vague or broad, right? You don't know who you're talking to. You create content that appeals to anyone who might be interested, right? You attract the adjacent audience. Most creators who have views but no clients have an offer problem, right? Their offer is too broad, it's not clearly defined, or they're not sure who it's actually for. And that uncertainty bleeds into their content, right? They create videos that could appeal to anyone or too wide of an audience. And anyone includes a lot of people who will never buy. Before you can fix your content, you have to fix your offer, right? Get crystal clear on what do you sell, right? Who it's for and what specific results does it deliver, right? I have a video on offers, right? It's gonna be linked up here somewhere. So you can check that out if you want. Offer content alignment. Okay, in scenario A, you have somebody who's misaligned. In this scenario, your offer is business coaching for entrepreneurs, right? That's broad. Who's an entrepreneur? Everyone from a college kid with a side hustle to a CEO running $50 million company. Your content reflects this vagueness, right? Tips for starting a business, how to find your first client, productivity hacks for busy entrepreneurs, right? This content attracts everyone who considers themselves an entrepreneur, mostly beginners, mostly people without money, ideal client adjacent, okay? You get views, you do not get clients. Scenario B, aligned. Your offer is scaling systems for 7-figure agency owners, right? It's probably even more specific than that. Scaling systems for 7-figure agency owners using cold email. Okay, something like this. Whatever it is, that's your unique system. Your content reflects this specificity, right? The hiring mistake that keeps agencies stuck at 1 million. Why your agency's project management is costing you $200,000 a year. The client acquisition system I use to scale from 1 million to 5 million, right? This content repels beginners. It repels non-agency owners. It repels anyone not at 7 figures. Good. These people were not going to buy anyway. The people it attracts, 7-figure agency owners who have the exact problems you solve. They watch, they resonate, and they buy, right? Same amount of effort, completely different results because the offer content alignment is right. You need to ask yourself 4 questions. Are you specific enough? Can you describe your ideal client in 1 sentence? Not entrepreneurs or business owners, right? 7-figure agency owners who want to scale without burning out, okay? 2, would your ideal client immediately recognize themselves in your content, right? When they watch your videos, do they think, this is exactly for me, right? Or this is interesting, right? Not so good. 3, would non-ideal clients feel excluded by your content? If beginners and adjacent viewers feel just as welcome as ideal clients, your content isn't specific enough. And 4, does your content address problems specific to your offer's price point? If you sell $10,000 coaching, are you addressing $10,000 problems or $100 problems that anyone could have, right? If you can't check all 4 boxes, your audience is too broad. You're attracting the adjacent audience, you're training the algorithm incorrectly, and your views will not convert. Get ruthlessly specific. It's the only way to turn views into clients, okay? Accept fewer views in exchange for more clients, right? This feels counterintuitive. Everything in YouTube culture tells you to maximize views. More views equals more success, right? Wrong, does not. We're not influencers, okay? We don't get paid for watch time. For a business channel, the right views are worth infinitely more than the wrong views. 100 views from ideal clients can generate more revenue than 10,000 views from the adjacent audience. When you make content more specific, your view count will likely drop. The broad audience that was watching your content won't be interested in your specific content and they'll leave. Let them leave. What you have left is an audience of actual potential clients, right? People who have the problem that you solve, people who have the budget to pay you, people who are actively looking for your help. This smaller audience converts at a much higher rate. Instead of 0.01% conversion, you might see 2% or 5% or even 10%. Fewer views times higher conversion equals more clients. Stop chasing views, start chasing the right viewers, okay? Here's another example, right? Random content. 5 marketing tips, how to be more productive, my morning routine, reacting to trends, right? This is something that I don't even know what this is. This is not even good influencer content. Strategic content, right? Why seven-figure agencies struggle to hire. The SOPs that let me scale without burnout. Client interview, how name went from 1 million to 3 million, right? The pricing mistake costing agencies $500,000 a year. Every piece of strategic content is a filter. It lets the right people in and keeps the wrong people out, okay? Let's look at the difference between random content and strategic content, right? Random content is whatever seems interesting. The content might get views, but it attracts a random audience, right? People interested in marketing tips could be anyone. People interested in productivity could be anyone. There's no strategic filter. Strategic content is designed to attract your ideal client and repel everyone else, right? Every video answers the question, will this attract people who can become clients, right? Why seven-figure agencies struggle to hire A players, right? This attracts seven-figure agency owners, right? It repels everyone else. The SOPs that let me scale my agency without burning out, right? This attracts agency owners who want to scale. It repels everyone else. Client interview, right? How name went from 1 million to 3 million. This attracts agency owners at 1 million who want to grow. It repels beginners. Every piece of strategic content is a filter, right? You must adopt the Repel mindset. Most creators think their job is to attract viewers, to get as many people watching as possible, cast a wide net. But for a business channel, your job is to repel, to push people away who will never become clients, and to filter out the adjacent audience. Keep the wrong people from wasting your time, right? And theirs. Instead of asking, how can I get more views? Ask, how can I make sure only the right people watch? Instead of celebrating when a video goes viral, ask, who is this video attracting? Are they potential clients, right? Instead of creating content that appeals to everyone, create content that appeals specifically to your ideal client and actively turns off everyone else, right? The Repel mindset feels uncomfortable at first. It feels like you're leaving opportunity on the table, right? But you're not. You're clearing the table of people who were never going to buy. Repelling is not rude. It's not arrogant. It's strategic. It's respectful of everyone's time, and it's the only way to build a channel that converts. Your job is to push away the wrong people just as much as it is to attract the right people, right? It's the foundation of a channel that converts views into clients. So, clients greater than views, right? Clients are better than views. Let's recap, right? Views and clients are not the same metric, right? Optimizing for views destroys your ability to get clients. The ideal client adjacent audience is dangerous, right? They look like your clients, they engage like your clients, but they never buy. The YouTube algorithm learns from your audience, right? If you attract the wrong people, it finds more of the wrong people. The problem compounds. Your offer determines everything, right? If your offer is vague, your content is vague and you attract the wrong audience. Accept fewer views in exchange for more, right? The right views are worth infinitely more than the wrong views. 6, create strategic content, not random content, right? Every video should filter for your ideal client. And adopt the Repel mindset. Your job is to push away the wrong people just as much as it is to attract the right people. When you make these shifts, your views might drop, your clients will increase. And that's the only metric that actually matters. If you want to go deeper on this, right? If you want to understand a little bit more about this subject, I have a video called Why Most YouTube Gurus Are Wrong About Growth, right? It covers a lot of things. Why influencer advisor destroys channels, vanity metrics, how a channel with 800 subscribers can outperform a channel with 20,000, right? Link in description for that video.